If you're watching this, that means something. You didn't end up here by the accident. Something brought you here, and I believe that something is worth paying attention to. My name is Margarita Graf, and this video is my way to sit down with you and say, welcome, I see you, and I'm here for you. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Margarita Graf. I was born in Moscow. And at the age of 23, something crazy happened in my life. After what, I packed everything I had and moved to Los Angeles alone with a dream and not much else. I spent 9 years there building, learning, developing myself, and now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here, I'm just grounding myself, building something I never built before. Something that comes entirely from the inside. So let's talk a little bit about my business background. By nature, I'm an entrepreneur. I worked in startups, e-commerce, lead generation projects. I ran a large entertainment company, even offline business, right? I was building teams. It was real pressure. Offline operations is not a joke, okay? I've led people through growth, transformation, through change. It was a lot of cool things most people never see behind the scenes. And through all of it, I was doing something I didn't have a name for it yet. I was seeing people really seeing them. It was so easy for me to give them directions, not just in a way that giving them a task, but to see their real potential. Noticing something they couldn't see in themselves, like a real capacity they'd written off. I watched people build entire career on the foundation of the moment that someone else believed in them before they believed in themselves. I thought I was just doing my job. I didn't realize I was already living my purpose. Back to my 23 years old. When I was 22 in 2016, my world stopped. Twice. I lost my dad. There are no words for that kind of loss. The person who shaped so much of who I am, gone. In that grief, everything that had felt urgent suddenly felt very small. And then, as if life wanted to make sure I've heard the message, a parasite bite put me flat on my back. So I was lying down for a month in a pain. I was struggling a lot, but I made myself a promise: when I get through this, I will start helping people. Not just professionally, deeply. So I started studying everything about subconscious. And it clicked so much in a way like nothing else did. For me, it's something like invisible force beneath everything we do, like our choices, our fears, our patterns, our decisions. Everything is in there. And our dreams, of course. Well, but this 2016 turned curiosity into a calling. So when I came out of this illness, I didn't go back to my previous self. I built a new one. Of course, at first, I was super frustrated, I was struggling, and I was missing myself. But in the reality, everything started changes when I realized that I have to build my new self. So after a few years of the self-research, I became a certified hypnotherapist. This year, I did a little upgrades and I became transformational coach and naturopathic coach. So I help people to build their own healthy system to manage their day-to-day life with a purpose. And for the past 5 years, I've been working with people one-on-one or in group mentorship in that deep, quiet space where the real change happens. And here's what I'm 100% sure of. When you do what you were made to do, you're not just working, you live. For a long time, I lived in the two worlds, in the world of duality. The professional world, when I was driven, capable, result-oriented, and my inner world, where I was that spiritual, connecting with my soul, with my life purpose, the deeper meaning of things mattered just as much. But I kept them separate for some reason. They couldn't coexist, like I had to choose. I was surrounded by so many people doing so many things, events, work, this and that, trying to be everything at once, not fully knowing how to name myself. There were so many layers to who I was. Does that sound familiar? At some point, I realized something, and the answer wasn't to do more. It was to go deeper. And of course, I had a lot of resistance, but I had to stop choosing between spiritual and material world, to stop performing and start being. My greatest values are my family and my freedom. And at 32, I finally understand what the freedom actually feels like. Not the hustle version, not that grind until you make it version what I used to be. A light version. The version where you build a beautiful life and actually enjoy it, where you achieve without burning out, where you care for yourself without guilt, where you create without losing yourself in the middle of the process. I love beautiful living, restaurants, sport, travel, immersive experiences, but none of it means anything without the energy to truly feel it. And that energy comes from within. So first of all, I've decided to create a space where we can all communicate in English because for some reason, for all of these years living in the United States, I was still expressing myself in the social media in Russian language. I don't mind, but the huge portion of my professional experience was built here in the US. So I've decided to create new social media channels. I've blocked all of my friends. And I've also created a Telegram group, and I believe that every woman who finds her way here is ready for something. Maybe she doesn't have words for it yet. Maybe she's been doing work quietly, alone, for years. Maybe she just woke up one day and thought, there has to be more than this. So this is the space for women who are ready to remember who they are. Not find themselves, remember, because it's already inside you. It's always been. Here, we don't chase, we don't push, we don't please anyone. We've done this before, okay? We work with subconscious, we remove what's in the way, we meet our higher selves, and we build from there. So in this Telegram group, I'll be sharing my tools, my worldview, my perspectives, and all of the self methods, what could be helpful if you're feeling stuck. And in this community, these women will hold space for each other in a way that I believe is rare and very, very needed. Of course, we're strong, but we came to this world as a little girls. And this softness, this tenderness is not something to hide. It is something to honor. That's what we do here. So I want to close with this. I spent a long time thinking I had to figure out the right way to show up in the world, the right title, the right niche, the right version of myself to present. And what I've learned, the moment you stop to try to be the right version and start being your true version, shifts everything. That's what I want for you. Not a better performance of your life, but an actual felt, lived experience of it. Welcome to Subconscious Women's Club. I'm Margarita, and I'm so glad we found each other. You can always text me. I'm friendly. I know my first impression might be not look like it, but I'm here. Let's glow together. Much love.